Hello everybody, and as I have promised to you, I brought a very special guest today to give us her knowledge about her growth and most importantly about her platform where she teaches us how to be successful right now in the long run. And she also has very specific platform where she teaches us how to save for the future for women. But before I'm going to even start asking Marta a question, I want to introduce Marta. Marta is Miss New Jersey. And I think everybody should know about it. There you go. Number two, Marta is salon owner. And number three is Marta is a female businesswoman. And I will explain you right now why I'm telling this in such a detail. Marta didn't know I'm going to mention this because Marta didn't know a lot about it, but I will tell you how I met Marta. I have met Marta, and pay attention because it has a lot to do with business, about 7 years ago, through Marta's friend and my client. I used to work in tiny little place in New Jersey, and I was going through extremely difficult time of my life, and it was my second divorce with the 7 years, and I was completely dusted, financially, emotionally, in every way. So, Marta, your friend Irena came to me, and she told me that you should check in with Marta. So to make a very long story short, I'm meeting with Marta, and Marta gives me opportunity to start working in her salon. I don't think she needed at that time any extra estheticians, but she did it, and I'm very, very grateful. After a while, things are going really worse and worse and worse for me. And I'm understanding that I need to put myself into something I really don't believe in, but in double shifting and working hard. So listen to this, ladies. I will get to the point. I'm coming to Marta after about a month or two working for Marta, and I'm telling to Marta that I need to go. Meanwhile, I was the one who came to her in the first place. I came to her. And this is what Marta told me. I don't know if you remember. The best of luck. I know you will be able to make it. If you ever need me or if you need to come back, I'm here for you. I don't know, Marta, if you remember that. You probably
Of course. No, I remember. I
probably
remember.
said this to many people, but you definitely said it to me. And I was absolutely shocked because this is not a response I'm usually used to. I just didn't realize that Marta is smarter than every other business owner out there. So I left, time goes by, we go into lockdown. I came from the lockdown and now I am better. And I'm looking for absolute the best place in New Jersey to rent from. And who came up to my mind as a first person? It was Elite Salon and Spa in New Jersey, in Hasbrook Heights. Why? Because excellence is remembered, and so is kindness. Kindness is something nobody will ever forget. And I said, I have to go to Marta for several things. A, because I'm a germaphobe, and I knew that place was impeccably clean, and it was very important for me because I'm so scared of, OCD. And number two, because she let me go with such grace, I felt welcomed. And today we are both in here to talk about business. Clearly, Marta made it. Clearly, I'm trying to make it too, and I made it in my online courses. And in my online courses, I'm teaching you guys how to conduct business female way. Because it's a very different energy to work as a man and go vertical, stepping on your competition, and doing business female way, going horizontal. You're like a light that touches people horizontally. It gives out the light and warmth for them, and they grow and grow and grow, and they come back to you. And the reason I told you how I met Marta is because it was an excellent example. The seed of kindness and well-wishing that you plant today, you might never know, but it may come back to you tomorrow, after tomorrow, 3 years. Somehow, it's going to come back to you. So today we are talking about making business female way, making money female way, and Marta's specialty is saving money female way, and really big success in different ways, in different platform, in a female way. So as I told you before, I'm all about working with pleasure. Working hard got me absolutely nowhere except for being dusted. For me, Don't go after working hard. Don't bring down your prices. Bring up your skill. Bring up your excellence. And I know, Marta, that you're doing the same thing because I see you giving classes to your staff on a consistent basis. So actually, you're chasing excellence, no matter at what point of excellence you already are. So
Yeah.
if you could please take us from there, the building excellence, and also I would absolutely love to hear your platform about saving money female way for female business women. I will keep asking you questions throughout this interview, but if you please address from the beginning and on every.
Okay. I'm going to tell you one more thing. Just adding to your story, how we met through a mutual friend. And I have to tell you that it was a pleasure to create that place for you on the first place, even if I did not needed anyone, because I've been in your shoes as well, and it was just wasn't our timing. And I think it was, through the pandemic, and I through the pandemic too, like your also main destination was not New York. It actually was New Jersey, right? So sometimes things just, it wasn't my timing with your timing. And it's so funny because when we came to our life, and it was your timing to build up your business, to be so laser focused without realizing or not, you have inspired me with your determination and trying to figure things out so much. And I'm still in this like working hard, working hard, working hard. And I'm thinking, okay, you're doing something different. You're doing like, let me see what that is. So like I was there, you were here, I was there, and then finally, like we're almost like having like a different relationships all together. And I think it's just so funny. We were probably the same people all the time, but there's something as divine timing for all of us, right? So and I feel like with especially what we do in our business, right, a lot of people tend to stay solo. They don't want to teach, they don't want to, they hide the information. That's not the way to grow. As you mentioned, like we live in such a interdependent society, and a lot of times I see business owners or even teachers don't really share the knowledge with the students because they're afraid, oh, how about they're going to be better than me? But how about if you're going to be by yourself? How about if you wasting the opportunities because you only have two hands, right? And by extending your knowledge, you also building your self-esteem. And I think every student needs a teacher and every teacher needs a student. So you can only be as good as your students and the people that you surround yourself with. So if you create your little bubble and you're there by yourself for your clients, that bubble is going to burst at some point and you're going to find yourself being alone. But I think we can collectively, like as you mentioned, a female leadership, when we build business on a horizontal plane, that means we include everyone. It's so important. It should be so nurtured, and I just applaud you for that. And then when you speak about this, you speak into my heart. And if you're wondering, so you introduced me as a Mrs. New Jersey for America because I just won that title. And you think like, at my old age, I've never done pageantry before. Why am I doing it? Because it's a form of leadership in its own feminine essence. Like we're still, let's say, competing, right, for a title, not against each other. We're competing for a title. And the title is always not easy to fulfill, right? It comes with responsibility. So make sure that you know what you're competing for and what you're working for. And but it is such a supporting environment. And I feel these days, if you can pass a knowledge, there is a lot of knowledge fluctuating out there. When you can pass a knowledge, okay, that's a one skill. When you can create a community and when you can really create supportive community, that with confidence one woman acknowledges the others and say, hey, these are my strength and these are your strength, and we're all able to play to our strength, That's really brilliant and amazing, and I applaud you for that. I had to tell you that. I have to start with that because I think it's so important that the work that you do and you're putting things out there. So without, with that little introduction, so you know where my mind is, my heart is, usually my mind and my heart, it's still in right in this place. Most of the decisions I make from here. But yes, I do teach financial literacy, and I would love to share with you how do I arrive there, and why am I the person to maybe share some information with you about money. Well, first of all, women and money. It's a topic that most women don't want to talk about. We are being groomed from very early age to either rely on our parents, our daddies, and then our partners. And then sometimes along the way, we take the roles of our daddy's partners when we become the breadwinners, right? And it's like out of the alignment. So, very quick, I share my story. I arrived into New York from Poland at the age of 19 with $200 in the suitcase. I had a very privileged upbringing until my dad gambled our business away. So the blessing in that was that I always grew up around business. And then I fallen into a beauty business. It wasn't my choice at first, but it was the most investment that you get for your money, right? And I also thought, we're in such a beautiful industry where I don't have to tell anybody that they're sick. I don't have to let's say, like in the marketplace, somebody has to lose so somebody gained money, right? So it's a very clear exchange. I make people look and feel beautiful. And I'm in my little bubble, right? But then there is a business side of it and how you grow it. And as you mentioned, we have a tendency to work, 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 work. But then things are just like falling apart. And as women, naturally, a lot of times we don't know what to do with our money. So there's a lot of attraction. So there is the shopping, there is the new shoes, there is this, there is that, but how do we build that security? How do we build a real financial freedom? And also, how do we understand that we are in the business of youth and beauty? So we also have to give that to ourselves, and how to make it ageless, how to make it timeless, and how to make it sustainable. Because we work with our hands, our bodies, our energies, our soul. And what we pour into a client is more than any laser, any machine, any doctor can really do. So the financial aspect of what we do is so important. And I always believe that we can do good and do well in the same time.
Amazing.
So we can do good and do well in the same time.
That
So
is
doing good is doing good for the other person, but remember, the person that is giving needs to be the most comfortable one, right? So you need to be very comfortable with the exchange that you're giving. And then when you give, you give from the right place, the money will follow you as well. So it will come to you.
interrupt you, but you roused my skin because I always knew that we can do good and do well at the same time. I could never put it in words. And you just said that my every girl has to see it. Like it has to be bumper stickers for female cars. It has to be in every female-owned business for every female. Guys, you can do good and do well in the same time. And I think when you do well, you can even do better doing good, right? Is that
Absolutely, that's a full circle.
that?
But it all starts with our cup, and it starts with understanding, right? So we can have this conversation for so long, but I think it's important to really introduce the psychological aspect behind this, because it's so important that as women, we're very touchy feeling people. And a lot of times you think, oh my God, finances are like something that either men handle, or this is math and I never been good with math and everything else. And actually, finances is filling up your cup first, because that's the only, when you're comfortable, that's the only place that you're going to give. And I'm sure that we have, your audience are estheticians that have service to clients where they were sick.
Yeah, like the whole service industry, the beauty industry, it covers everybody.
Yeah, we cover everybody. So everybody who is in the beauty industry. But we have been in the places that we overextended ourselves and we gave it to our clients or did services. We didn't charge for it. And you always end up with like not a good feelings, right? Sometimes we're panicking because maybe the client didn't show up. And what we do, oh, there's a special, and there is another special, and there is another special, and there is another special. And you end up with a clients that you don't really want to serve. And you end up with a clients that do not value you. And I think as a woman, and also I'm gonna just with the business that we are in, it's almost like dating, right? When you never really want to chase a man, you never want to chase a client, right? You want it to be so good, so professional, that people will come back to you. And as you mentioned before, I always stress that I never wanted to compete on the price, but I always wanted to compete on the quality.
Same here.
And I think this is something that it's very important to sit with, and it's very important to look at the market, look what you're offering, and really assess yourself from the right place, like from not from this place, but from this place, because we're not Amazon. Yeah. What we're doing, it's far beyond skincare. It far beyond. And once you realize your worth, you're also going to be charging accordingly, and you're going to be also treating yourself accordingly. So all the talk aside, so I'm going to give you a little taster for what I'm teaching, which is my 30-30-30 rule. And that's the art of delicious budgeting, saving, and investing, right? So I'm very quickly just going to give you a little taster what this is like, right? So budgeting. How do we ever learn to budget? We never did. So if you think, oh my God, I'm not good with money, it's okay. It's really okay, because you know what? The best start to learn that is honestly anytime, between even now or when you're almost going for retirement, it's okay. Our parents hide that from us, right? A lot of times our parents go and overextend ourselves. They buy us gifts, or they send us to different schools that they cannot really afford. And then on the other hand side, then they suffer for their retirement, right? So they don't have the life that they wanted to. So it was always hidden. So if you do have kids, or if you have families, I really would invite you to do like a family budget all together. Involve your kids, teach them the power of dollar, and don't hide it. Like, don't, this is a conversation that you should have, very openly, also with your friends, also with other estheticians. Unfortunately, 80% of our businesses in our industries are not profitable without the owner working in it, right? So sometimes it's the solo business owner, and sometimes it's the owner who is bringing other people on board, but it's still not making enough profits, right? So I also think that business is a spiritual game, and we're exchange, and the money is just a monetary exchange to basically confirm your worth and what the energy that you're putting out there. So come back to the 30-30-30 rule. So whatever your budget is, and I have learned this on my own skin, moving here from Poland, Budgeting is something that I didn't do, but I saw how people live and how the system helps you, how the system wants you to get in debt, how the system wants you to overextend yourself, how many pair of jeans, shoes, this, everything that you need. I mean, if you want that, great, fantastic. But we need to differentiate what we want and what we need and what our budget allows us to do, right? So first things first, I always allocate about 30% to what my living situation is like. So that's my taxes, like housing taxes. That's where my rent is coming from. So, and it's about 30% of my income. So the size of the house, the apartment, the location, but really depends on how much money am I making right now, right? So that's will be the first 30%. The second 30%, it's or you're going out, food, entertainment, like day-to-day things. That's including your clothing if you wanted to as well. But everything that you do, your gas, your car, that's the second 30%. The third 30% isn't actually, although I'm speaking about it as the last, it should be the first 30% that you're going to take out of your paycheck. And that's the money that you're going to save and invest. And that's being smart and appreciating yourself. So although I gave you like the opposite, opposite order, because I think as a woman, we always think about roof over our head first. And then I save later. But later is like 20 years later, 40 years later, whatever. No. So when, let's say I have $100, I'm going to make it like this. First, I take the $30, and that's the money that I'm going to put into my savings account. Then I'm going to take my second $30, and that's my food, whatever I can do for that week. And then my third $30 is going to go into my living situation, right? My rent. And sometimes I can offset that. But when you borrow to live from your savings, at some point you're going to feel it. And we don't have to, especially in our industry, where on top of our $100, whatever we charge, we also get tips. So if you're really thinking about smart, and the tips are about 20% of any service, think about it, that 30% that you're going to save, which is like just a regular job, and add your tip into it, it makes it almost 50% of your income. If you're going to be diligent, smart, powerful about it, you can make such a big difference in your income. So when it's compounding over the years, that you're going to be more selective of who you're going to see, how many hours you can work, and how to step back from behind the chair. And then when you have that security, there's nothing more, I don't like to use the word sexy, but there is something very witchy, very powerful, because then I'm able to give you without having pressure or expectation that you need to deliver back, right? And understanding that we're all in this journey together, and it's just a monetary exchange. I don't have to be desperate of lowering my prices. I can take another class. I can invest in myself. I can do all these things that I wanted to do because I was smart how I'm not handling my money, how I'm handling myself. Okay. And then you would ask me, like, what are you going to do, Marta? There's only 90% of your paycheck. What's the 10%? What is the 10%?
10%, the cherry on the top.
Yes, that's your cherry on top. And you know what? That 10% is the money that you're going to invest in yourself, whatever that is. If that's a massage, if that's going out for you, if that's taking a retreat, is that doing something for yourself, by yourself, even when you have a family. As women, we are, and especially women in this industry too, because we're giving and giving and giving, we forget to fill up our cup. So fill up your cup with savings first. and then look at your budgeting and see how you can, how you can align things. See what you need and what you don't need. Saving money does not really have to be painful, and actually it doesn't. It's really being honest with yourself. Once you put that 30% into savings, right? Just say what I like, sit down and not being in the panic mode, and see like what I really need. Like, what do I really need, what I don't need. Sometimes it might be like for us that we need to get rid of our clutter. Sometimes I end up carry one bag for the last 7 years, and it's not it's a work bag, right? But I mainly go to work. Sometimes it might just be a day off. It's so important to sit with yourself and see, okay, where am I? So as far as setting your budget like that, I know it could be scary at first, because we have to take a look of what we have done already. And now, and it's okay, whatever you have done or did not do, it's just not too late. It's you know what, you can still make it happen. And I will tell you, every decision that you're going to put yourself first with the money that you're going to save, it's going to build a confidence in you. It's going to build a peace with you, and it's going to be more, you're going to be more in peace with yourself. There's nothing more exciting when seeing your money growing, and you know that you made this. It's almost like planting the seeds for the grass, and then it's gonna come in, right? But then how do we plant the seeds without talking too much? Because as you can tell, I can entertain you guys forever. I hope you find this entertaining. But just to break this down one more time, the first 30% that you're going to do is you're going to put in savings, and I'm going to tell you what to do with that.
Hold on to this thought. A quick question. I just want to address the fact that you can do it on any budget, no matter how much you make right now. Whether you make $100 a week or $100,000 a week, you can do this breakout for yourself.
That's the whole thing. That's why I broke it into $100 increments, because it's literally starts in $100.
I think so too. I think that's very important, because you always think, when I'm gonna have money, I'm going to save.
No. It's a power of small savings. It's a power of everyday thing. It's a power of deciding that, you know what, my 30% of my income today, I'm not going to give it to Starbucks, maybe, right?
Yes.
Maybe I need to give this to myself first, right? And make my coffee at home. I mean, of course, there are choices, but these choices can be very uplifting. And I'm going to tell you, these choices will take a lot of clutter into from your mind and from your life as well. I promise you that. Because when we overwhelm and we are overstimulated and then we're overworking, we're just like a hamster in the hamster wheel. And then we're like, and I think all of us in our industry, we are super gifted with the ability of making money. But it drips to our fingers very, very, very fast. So that's why I said that 30% that you're going to make it first, and then it's your tip, and the 30% on the $100, put this away. And then you're asking me, like, how much money do I need to invest? Honestly, it's $100. It's $100. Sometimes it could be a gift that you receive for your birthday, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be, I think we're all capable of saving $100 and start with that. And I do not really, as long as you put $20, $30 into it, you're going to end up somewhere. And you're also going to, the amount of money that you're going to save will also teach you a power of dollars and how we spend money.
An energetic cushion, I'll hold on to it. I have a very probably ridiculous example, but girls will understand. It was very, very, very many years ago, and it's relatable to the story. I was trying to lose weight. I'm going on, and I started to save money. I'm talking about 25 years ago. I was a new esthetician, was making very little money, but did what you did. I lost my mind later. But in that point, I was smart. I had an envelope that I used to put cash in. And I'm going on a scale and I'm seeing that I actually gained 2 pounds. And I feel so bad because I have this battle with the weight my whole life. And then something came in my mind and I said, oh, but I have an envelope that I'm saving money to. I know they are unrelatable issues, but it kind of gave me a sense of security and power and stability. And I said, oh, it's only 2 pounds. I definitely gonna lose them, but I have that envelope for me and I have saved in there. There was something very magical about envelope that I saved in that kind of diluted my pain from gaining 2 pounds. I don't know if I make any sense.
Yeah, you absolutely make any sense. That's what I was trying to verbalize, how the more money you will save, the more money you will invest, the more confidence and the more ease you will have in a lot of areas of your life, a lot. Because money allows us to make better choices for ourselves, for our kids, and then for our families. It really determines the quality of food that we eat. So anything from your health, of course, you cannot really buy like happiness with money. So we're not only working for that. However, the cushion that we create, it's priceless. For every woman, their sense of being, their sense of security, it can be created on us with our hands. We do not have to rely on anyone.
That's
Yeah. And that's when you put your eggs not in one basket, but you're being smart and you're putting yourself first. So honestly, savings is about putting yourself first.
so basically, I think that this is the three most important things in women life: health, second, human relationships. You cannot
For
sell
women, yes. Yeah.
for money. That the human relationships is like be or end all. But the third is money. It's a
Yeah.
up of the pyramid. Health, without health, nothing will work. Human relationships, honesty, love, affection, empathy, it will always come before money. But money comes right underneath because money can feed those human relationships too. You can help people that you really want to help, not just by word and by hug, but also by tangible action, investing in your loved ones. It is so important. But if you don't invest in yourself first, you're not going to have that financial ability to invest in your loved
Yeah.
ones.
I see this as, like if you look at the pyramid, I think also the financial stress, how much, and then you're a great example of it, because when we met the first time around, you have experienced a lot of financial stress, and that clouded your judgment as well, right? But you needed to do something else. There was other lessons. So I think they're layered. So when you don't have financial stress, you don't have to put your body in stress, right? And then also it also let us build like more relationships. I know how many women are settled for marriages that they're not happy with because they're depending on their husband financially. But in the meantime, we're making all this money. We're just like basically just flashing it out, like we cannot keep it because we think that either we need to give it away or we're trying to actually buy love. Sometimes it's from our kids, sometimes it's from our friends, and sometimes it's like for ourselves. And we all do that. Everyone is guilty of that. But you know what? We can do that in like a little small 30% increments, right? And the 10% of your money, do whatever you wanted to do with it, have fun with it, whatever makes you happy, because we need that in our life as well. So I want to talk a little bit about the saving aspect and what we can do. So there is one book that I would really love to recommend for you. I'm going to find the author in a second, because it is less taxing, more relaxing. So we are in such a beautiful industry that most of us are self-employed, right? And that means the first things first, before you even seen any clients, you need to understand the taxing system and how much investing you can do through yourself for your business instead of paying income tax, right? So think about it. If you're going to work for someone and you're only getting a paycheck, but we're getting a paycheck plus our tips, right? So we're always getting more in a paycheck. In the office, that's not, you're not going to get that, right? Now, we have a lot of us are self-employed, so we get our paycheck, and then we also have an opportunity to play with the taxing system. I mean, that's not to pay the taxes. It's basically use the tax codes to your advantage. So I'm going to give you a super simple example, not to overwhelm you. And then I touch on two different things. And then I would let you ask me all the other questions. So let's say if you're a solo esthetician, right? And of course, you don't have a retirement plan. As a solo esthetician, you can open 401k account. What does it mean? And I'm not a financial background. I own my company for 21 years, and then I employ, a lot of people. It's harder for us to do it, but as a solo esthetician, you can open your 401k, which helps you to save money right away on your income. So let's say instead of paying, let's say I put in my 401k, $5,000 or even $100, doesn't matter, $100. That means that my company money, so that I'm paying less, $100 less in taxes. So I'm already saving about 30%, whatever your tax bracket is.
Non-taxable money. 401k.
Yeah. But it's two ways. So now I'm taking the $100 from my income. So instead of paying tax on that, I'm putting this into 401k account.
Okay.
Now my company can match me up to 100%. So another $100 without a tax is still match that. So now I have $200 instead of paying taxes. And then on average, we pay about 30% or more because we're self-employed, or more, depends on your tax bracket. So I'm already saving almost 60%, right? Because 30%, I'm saving $60. So instead of 200, I kind of have 260 in there, right? Or if you do the other way around, because it's $60 that we're saving instead of $200, right? Which I put into the account, I'm saving that $60. So if I would take everything, I would only have 140. So you just made $60 without even blinking your eyes, right?
Can I clarify this for everybody? So me,
Sure.
as a solopreneur, I have a company, Helenapahavamethod. I as a solopreneur entity, as a single entrepreneur entity, $100 into 41k and match it with my own company, with Helenapahavamethod company into that. I want to clarify for everybody who's new to that, like me. So girls, you can do it from your own entity as an entrepreneur, as a company worker, and also your own company, Helenapahavamethod, can match Helenapahavamethod entity in the savings and double 401k and double that, and that money is not taxable. Okay, great, thank you.
Okay, I'm just looking.
I'm sorry that I interrupted you. I just want to make.
Oh, no. So that's really, really smart. And then, this little book, I'm just going to show you right here. It's called Less Taxing, More Relaxing. Let me see the author. I've actually met her, and I don't know why what is her name? I don't know why
You're gonna leave a link to her underneath.
Yeah, I can. It's literally like $6 on Kindle or paper copy, which I actually will recommend you a paper copy because the book is about that small. The lady, she was a single mom. I have met her on one of the seminars. This was a really good book. She even pulled it off how to make her make her childcare tax deductible. Well, I don't know about that, but she's in accounting and definitely speaks to women. Short book. I would recommend to get it on you in print because each chapter you see what applies to you.
I
So
was looking for that. I was literally looking for that because our personality, being women in charge, I want to be in charge. Like I hire professionals actually to do my taxes, but I want to know what they are doing, and I know more than they're doing.
yeah, so I'm gonna tell you the simple truth.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as in regular people, working women, we're gonna have an accountant that are not there to save us money. They're there to put the information. The accountant is almost like a computer,
Love this conversation.
and they get the information, they put into the system, and this is what you're gonna end up paying. And then the relationship relies that you gave them everything that you have, and what you didn't, that's between you and the God and whatever the case might be. But they're not there to educate you on the tax law, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because right now you have a TurboTax, and if you have a simple tax, tax income, it you can do this process. So they're gonna be without a job. So when you have an accounting that it tells you, okay, let's move this and let's do that and let's do that. I mean, there's in certain levels of society when you have a lot of money, you basically have your financial advisor, you have your tax attorney, you have people that manage your money, and guess what? They don't do this for free. They need to have a lot of money. But as we started first, and guys, I started with $200, and no English and one suitcase. That was my whole life. So I think when I can do it, you can do it too. And knowledge is power. Don't let that power, don't give your power taking away from us, because as women, we are so smart. We can multitask, we can do this and we can do that, and it's in your business. It's part of your business to know your taxing business. And the bigger your business grows, you need to know, okay, do I need to be solo what's the word, solo?
So
Yeah. Yes. Do I need to have a corporation? Do I need to have LLC? Do I need to have S corporation or corporation? So what are those three different things? I'm just going to tell you very quickly. It is basically how you pay taxes, and it depends on what the size of your business is and how you scaling your business. And can you leave money in your business for the next year, or do you need to pay taxes on it? All of these things, you will have a lot of answers in this particular book. Recommended. I met her, in great speaker, great person. I think you can literally like reach out to her and have a consultation too. I would really highly recommend her. So that's one thing. First is the taxing, and it's our responsibility to know.
I agree 100%. Yes, absolutely.
Now, it's not anybody else's job, because guess what? Nobody else works as hard for your money as you do, right? So now it's the power of investing. And you mentioned, Lala, it's like, oh, I'm going to invest when I'm going to have some money. I'm going to invest when I'm going to, when my envelope is full.
Have
You
an
know what? Your
old
envelope is never going to be full, first of all, and that's like not really saving money, because there's always going to be urgencies, right? There's always going to be something that life will throw on us, and that's no matter how much money you make, it's just the case. So make sure that you take that 30% and then you invest. And where do you invest? Again, we're so like, I don't know, I make my money, I give this to my husband, he invested for me. But who's investing with? Why you not invest in yourself, right? Why you not take that 10% and just say, okay, who can I be invest my money with? So just a few examples right now that you can open literally, like right now for like trading as far as stocks. Then there's no fees, like Vanguard, which is my favorite company, have no fees. And then
Not only is your favorite company, Vanguard. Is it your favorite company?
To invest my money with, yes. I
Yes.
mean, they have been on the market for years. They also don't charge fees for buying and selling stocks. And if you wanted to be in the stock market, it depends on your age and how much risk. I learned that one time that the quality of your life and the fulfillment of your life is the amount of risk that you can sustain, right? And you need to know your personality and see how much you're willing to risk, right? So stocks and index funds are, something that we usually do. And a lot of, let's say, if you have a 401k because you're working for someone, they already have that, but you can manage this by yourself. Because let's say if I like Apple products or anything else, like I need to know what companies I wanted to invest in, right? And then the stock either go up or you go down. Also very important, if you buy a stock and you keep it for over a year, when you sell it and you make a little money on it, you and actually only pay taxes on capital gains, and capital gains are about 15%, guys. So that's already half that. So 15% that you are making less. That's why I don't know if you know the Warren Buffett always say, I pay less taxes than my housekeeper. Yeah, she has salary, whatever her income is. I hope he pays her really good, but she pays taxes on capital gains. So he always keeps only something for a year or longer. And the return on stocks is about 7 to 15% over time. But sometimes there's years where you gain and you lose, and you have to be in it all the time.
Very long term. This is a marathon. Stock is a marathon, as I understood.
Yes, and then you can also buy like index funds, which is like index 500, which has like all the companies and it's being split in. But guys, this is already, you can buy this with $100.
So can you tell us more detailed difference between stock and an index fund?
So stock is when I only invest in one particular company, like let's say Apple. Index fund, I'm gonna index fund, I will invest a little cents in 500 most established company, right? So it's
same $100 you can put in one place, or you can spread it throughout different companies.
Yeah, and those are index funds. Yeah, so these are where they put all the companies together, and it's like, say, and sometimes some companies pay dividends, some companies didn't pay dividends, like energy. You can really look at this and you can start to fill in your own way if that's something that you wanted to do. But let's say it could be a little overwhelming. So I would say if you're new to this, start first. Start with your budgeting. Exactly. Your budgeting, put your money away into savings account. And right now, Robinhood, again, I'm not working for them, just a disclaimer. They almost pay 4.5% or interest on a savings account. So it's like you're not participating in like lending money. This is different things. They literally have a savings account. It's online savings. You can just move this. None of the bigger banks pay that right now. So if you don't want to know, you don't know what to do, just put your money in there right now and then start to figure your way in.
So let's put the point on this. Let's explanation. If you don't know what to do with your money and you have a little bit of money that you need to save for now to figure out what to do with it, Robinhood, it's an online company.
Yeah, it's online banking. It pays really great dividends. It's almost 5%.
More than anybody else at the moment.
More than anybody else. It's FDA insurance to $1.5 million. So, you're not going to lose your money, right? So you wanted to get the art of budgeting first, then the art of savings, just to keep it there, right? This is great, right? And then you can already start investing within $100 if you wanted to go for it. But if you're overwhelmed, it's okay. Just build your cushion. I guarantee you're gonna feel so much taller, so much better, and everything else. And then when we're going into investing sectors, so we have stocks and bonds. When I just explained that, we have a bonds, which is like low risk, but that's like 3 to 5%. And then we buy the bonds usually from let's say New York City. A lot of times they need money, the city is raising money, and they issue of bonds that you can buy, right? So long-term investments. We also have a CDs.
Do you find bonds to be secure place to put your money into?
Yes, but they're it's potential for like steady income once the maturity dates like it's there. However, bonds can be less liquid than stocks, so sometimes it's harder to sell them. The stocks you can sell it right away.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I want to make it
No,
what is liquid really means, because you use some terms that my girls might.
liquid means that you can sell it right away and I can get my money back.
Okay, so the liquid money is the money that you can right away put. Okay.
Yeah, like let's say if I'm gonna have my money in Robinhood, I can take it out tomorrow.
So this is liquid, guys. This is what she means by liquid. This is the term liquid. Yeah. Okay, sorry to interrupt. Please keep going.
No. And bonds are usually bound by the government, so it's very safe. They don't pay that as much, but it's still better. It's like definitely something that you wanted to look into it if your tolerance for risk is a lot less, right? And again, if you have that 30% of your budget, and again, we are dealing with $100, you can still split this at 3, right? So you can have 1/3 in your bonds, 1/3 in your saving, and then 1/3 in your stocks or real estate or whatever else it will go into it. Real estate is a little bit more trickier because it really requires a bigger investment up front, right? And then you borrow the money to purchase the property, and then you have to pay taxes and land it and everything else. And we're only banking that this property is going to go up. But guess what? Any of your rental income is taxed as an income, is not taxed as a capital gains. And then you're essentially renting that house from the bank. So you have to pay all your fees up front. And then we also have annuities. And this is like, it usually like from insurances that they sell, like long-term life insurance and all these things, which annuities I usually stay away from because I don't like to pay any fees up front. So every time you gonna purchase something like almost like a happy meal, right? And that's annuity. Somebody is managing the money for you. Doesn't matter if they make money or they lose money for you, they'll always take a profit of it, right? And it's usually upfront. So I think it pays off to educate yourself. It pays off to know and first things first, it just goes back into that budget, knowing how to use your privilege in working for yourself by yourself to your tax advantage, and then slowly start getting your fingers in into the investing game. And guess what, guys? Every man starts like that. No man goes into the bar and said the father say, well, let me teach you how to invest. No, nobody really does it. So we have the same opportunity as men do. And I think we should not really give our power away so fast, because as a woman, we can tackle everything. We can do so many things with love and grace. And investing and saving is that love and grace that you give to yourself. So, and that's a gift that it keeps on giving, because it pays dividends.
Yes, and I think it's very important. I think it's very good for actually woman's brain also, and the whole entity of the woman, because sometimes we literally like we are overwhelmed, we don't know what to do with ourselves. We go to refrigerator. We can go, in fact, in our phone and check our stocks, and we're gonna we can change the bad habit with this amazingly good habit where you can really train your brain about something new that pays you dividends. And who is going to watch this video? We can all afford $100. Even
it's a power of small savings. It's a power of small steps. And it's just a power of owning yourself and what you want for your life. I know we all love our clients. We all love being in the industry. but we don't have to be there for 40 or 80 hours a week. You know, some of us have been there, you know, I've been there for sure. And that's not the way to do it, because as you're in this hamster wheel, all the information that I shared with you today, and it's just like a little sampler, right? I try not to be too intense, too overwhelmed, but the main thing is know how to budget and save. Even if it's a $5, $10 a day, it is the best investment that you're going to make in yourself. And you know, like, even like when I go shopping right now, you know, I'm thinking, is this shoe going to pay me a dividend? Am I going to use it to work? Is this bag going to pay me a dividend? No, I don't need it. Like, I just know that. And it's so funny because the more things we can afford, the less things we need.
Correct. And it becomes more enjoyable to take that money and put there. So you don't enjoy your bank as much as that security of knowing.
Yeah, there's nothing better than knowing that no matter what, you're safe in any situation. You're safe, your business is safe, you have a cushion, and no matter what happened, corona, not corona, personal things, injury, you know you have enough time and resources to get back to your best self without panicking. And that's the lesson that I, you know, hope I wanted to share with you today, is that there's nothing more empowering than empowered woman that knows their worth.
You know, I wish I'd heard this 30 years ago. I know that if I've heard this message 30 years ago, explained in such a detail, I would avoid so much heartbreak, so much difficulty, so much insecurity, so much settling for things because I am broke. Because I've been very honest with my girls. I was not broke, I was dusted. Dusted. When I came to you, Marta, that first time around, I was dusted. I literally had minus $12 on my account, 2 kids, and nobody to look at for help. No
Oh, and I know how it feels. You know, listen, I had $200 too, so it's
it
you
was
know.
petrifying, and I had to grow from that point by myself. Now everything is okay, but I have gained that, you know, my husband, new wonderful husband, and security after already came out by myself from that quicksand that I was going to. And I always talk to my girls that you have to work with pleasure. That's a topic of a separate conversation. But I really wish I met you 30 years ago. I wish, because
Well, I can listen, I can say this, I can say the same thing, you know, as you have been such an inspiring woman in my life. And the more people that we can align ourselves with like that, the more pleasure you have in life, the more clarity you have in life, the more joy you have in life. And it's really super important to look at the people that you surround yourself with, you
and
know,
I
either bring you up.
right, you have that peace in life because you feel like you are protected by the energy of people who care, who
Of
truly
course,
care.
of course.
And
And that's the only way as a woman to build ourselves up. This is the only thing. And you know, and it's a lot of people, you said something that, you know, to do things with pleasure. You know, it's such a pleasure to invest in yourself.
absolutely, and it's such a
Even we expect other people to recognize us and to say, but you know what, it's such a pleasure to invest in yourself. It's such a pleasure to learn about have the opportunity to learn about these taxing.
oh
It's such
yeah.
a pleasure to do all of that. And when we come in from energy of pleasure, we also give the energy of pleasure.
And we are women. I think for us the only way to grow, because I think everybody who teaches this usually are men. There are women who teach that too, but they take very masculine approach to the same topic, even when they're
Yes, and that's not always good, because it repels or it scares the other women, and they think like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to understand this. I'm not good enough. I can tell you, you are good enough. It
yeah.
takes $100 and a little bit of discipline, and you can make it happen.
And I think it's very important to create a space for women that they're not as scared to ask questions. For example, you hear the man talking about liquid funds, and you're almost scared to say, what is liquid funds? I think you have to be in a space that's very safe and secure for you, and you ask, what is liquid funds? Because until now, I didn't know it. Once you tell me, I will know it. This is one more energetic input in my own security and in my own ability. It's okay to start from scratch. It's okay.
Yeah.
Exact zero about it, because there are people out there who are going to have patience and willingness to take you from that point zero and bring you where you need to be.
Yes, and you know what? It's also okay to stand in front of the mirror, acknowledge yourself, and say, hey, this is where I did my best with the knowledge I had. And being very grateful about it, because somehow we have all these intuitions that got us to this place, right?
Correct.
And then what do we want to create from now on? We have the skills, we know how to get the knowledge, and we have a support system of amazing women to do that.
Yeah, who are not competing with you, but who are igniting you. And if there is a competition, it's just how to get better. Because what bothers me in our industry, we lower prices so much, soon enough we're going to chase client and pay them to come to our chair or come to our table.
Oh yes, that's for sure. And people need us more than anything else. It's just the value that we put our own selves, because everybody wants to be touched, everybody wants to be pampered. We don't get that home, a lot. We take one or two jobs, and as a human being, like what I'm thinking, that we are becoming the new doctors, honestly, for humanity. And if you do that with kindness, if you do this with great energy, everything else will follow. That's on your personal level. You will, and I know a lot of you have this demand on you, right? But also you need to give it to yourself, right? So the giver has to be the most comfortable person in this relationship.
So I have to tell you from personal experience, because I always had skill. I'm from family of estheticians. I always knew how to do facials. It's not about that. The skill was always there. By the way, without skill, girls, you're going nowhere. So skill is your spine, but then what you do, how you dress that spine. And I have to tell you, when you're broke esthetician, when you're an esthetician who is timid, who is scared of life, who is scared of her environment, who is scared for client not to come, clients are people. 80% of our communication is non-verbal.
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely.
They know she had to lose her.
And that's why that savings account, Lala, helps you to stand tall, stay straight, believe in yourself, and have the patience, because things will come to you.
Absolutely. It gives you power of a choice.
Yeah.
What you want to work with, how much you want to charge. Do you know, I did the math. You need to have only 300 clients working 5 days a week, 5 clients. That client will come once in 3 months, not every month, once in 3 months, to have a fully booked book. You need only 300 people to be booked fully. And if you're going to raise your price, you can bring those people to the less of the number. Take 4 days of work and 4 clients a day. It really depends on ratio, how much you are charging. The only way you can charge accordingly is when you have a competition for your service. I started with $150 3 years ago. Right now, my facials are $350, and I'm booked till July, second week of July. How did I do it? I stopped competing for the clients. Clients are competing for me now, because they know they're going to get attention, they're going to get love, they're going to get so much more than skincare. When I was a timid esthetician running after them, I never had that opportunity. They came to get my service, say goodbye. They weren't looking forward. They weren't competing for me. Now they do, because I'm not scared no more. The same thing with men, like you did. I always tell to my girls, Marta, this is my a big thing. You have to have two things. My girls, I mean students, because I have boys for children.
Yeah.
You have to have two things in this life as a woman, outside of your children, for yourself: money and admirers. Then
Yes, we need
your
that.
husband
Yeah.
is going to be on your toes, your client's going to be on your toes. Everybody is going to appreciate you because there is a whirlpool. Me and Marta was talking about El Gregor the other day, I think yesterday. I will bring the subject again before. There's going to be a whirlpool of energy around you that is so attractive. And that is so warm, and that is so secure, and all welcoming, and all inclusive, that you become absolutely desirable person to anybody.
Magnetic.
So it's not only men, like I'm not saying have admirers, go cheat on your head. That's just not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, admirers is people look at you and they want to have a little piece of your energy into themselves. When they bloom. This is the thing. When they come and touch your energy, they have to bloom from it, not shrink from it, blooming from it. If you have money and if you have admirers, you're going to keep growing. You're not going to shrink. You're not going to become that little timid. I remember myself, I was so scared the client is not going to come that the girl would call 10 minutes before her appointment saying she's not going to show up because whatever reason. And I would be, oh, it's okay. Would you like to rebook? Well, now if somebody calls me 10 minutes and if they don't have a valid reason why, she can get sick, she can get a God forbid car accident. But that case was she told me that her valet parking wasn't available. Like she cannot take an Uber and come to me. And therefore she wants to reschedule. That's 10 minutes before her appointment time, Marta. And I'm telling her, when would you like to reschedule it for? Now I'm terribly sorry. I will get back to you when I have time to talk to you. But right now I really have to go and take care of myself. I would not take this client again, truly and honestly, because she displayed disrespect to me. And because I have such a long list of people who would take her place with pleasure, well, then she didn't show up. Also, I started to charge 50% of my work. And if person cancels within 48 hours, it's not refundable. However, I have to say that I do the same thing for them because most of the times, if chiropractor does it, I give chiropractor reason because it was done to me by a chiropractor. Basically, if I don't show up, then I pay 50%. But if he doesn't shows up, then I still have to reschedule and pay the full price. I had my child was in car accident. Everything is okay, but my client, I had to cancel an hour before. I didn't charge her one penny because I understood that she was looking forward to it. I rescheduled her. So it has to be both ways. It's definitely have to be both ways. But when you are not scared that she's not going to come back to you, when you're not scared that tomorrow your book is not going to be filled, because you have that cushion. When you go on that scale and you gain 2 pounds and it hurts your heart, but you still have financial cushion, everything in life feels different.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Different. A customer that didn't show up feels different. Everything because you feel powerful. Girls, money and admirers. But for that, you have to earn it. To have admirers, you have to be on top of your craft. You're not going to have admirers for nothing just because you're an esthetician. Nobody cares. But if you are the esthetician who changes people's lives, not only face and the skin, but the whole being
touches people beneath their skin, and that's when we become miracle workers. And that's where the volume comes in.
Yeah. So nothing is empty and nothing is hypothetical, nothing is for free. You fill yourself first with the knowledge.
Yeah.
Willingness to give. This is all very important. Nothing is going to come for nothing. But once you have knowledge and willingness to give, and you have finances to support you, and word is out there for you that you're one of the top professionals, because no matter if you treat client for 20 years, each time you give her top quality facial, not like, you go first time it was good, second time it was so. Then you have money and admirers, and then you really, really can grow as a professional, as a woman. And that growth is very important because don't forget, your growth is going through your next generations. You don't put this growth to yourself. You
Absolutely.
Head it forward. Think about your children, great children, great children. When she's in trouble, she'll be, oh, I had a great grandmother, and her name was Marta, and she did this, and this greatness, and I have the genetic in me, so I can keep going. So
Yeah, absolutely, Lana.
now women are spreading ahead. We're going ahead. Our children, great children, community, co-workers, students. You know what I heard, Marta, that the normal process of life is until you are about 40, you accumulate. It's normal hormonal thing. And after 40, you have willingness to give. And I feel this in me. You all gonna get there. The ones who didn't hit the 40, you're gonna have this absolute need to give. You have to have something to give.
Well, listen, the more we share ourselves, the more we share our story, the more we share our energy, the more we get it back.
100%.
And it's an interdependent reality, and life is about give and take. And I think that's just so important to grow as a woman and a human being. So
and include every aspect of it. We are so multidimensional. We are givers, we are lovers, we cares, but we need to be also stabilized within ourselves. We have to have our own power.
I love that word, a stabilizer within ourselves. And a lot of times we look for that stabilizing outside, but if you use finances and your ability, what you already are doing, and put it into right perspective, you're going to be that stabilizer for yourself, that emotional, physical, spiritual stabilizer. And that's the power of financing.
That's the power of financing. Marta, clearly there are going to be so many questions to you from
Sure.
Well, you know what? Originally, I wanted to put this interview only for my students, but I think we owe it to the world to put it in a bigger audience. So
I'm here. I'm an open book. You know, my platform is invest in yourself. And if anyone has any questions, you guys can DM me. You can reach out through your platform. You can reach out on Instagram. I'm a real person in a real place. You can come and visit me as well.
Where exactly they can find you? You're gonna leave
on Instagram. Instagram is usually, the best at Marta Mehlmann. On IG, just message me, and then I would answer any questions that I can possibly can.
And I will encourage Marta to have her own YouTube channel, like as soon as possible.
Well, only with you. I'll do this together because I love the collective energy. I love, being in your company, and you inspire me so much. So much. I wanted to see more women like you, to uplift other women. What you're doing for a community is priceless.
It's my pleasure, really, such a pleasure. So I will see my girls, and we might come back to you with questions. Maybe we can do that.
Absolutely, we can do another one. I'm here for you.
And so far, there is so much information. I know they need to digest it. I am so grateful to you. I spoke to you so many times, but today was precise advice, and I will definitely take it. And I will tell you, I will record my journey in investment and come back to you with it. I want you to witness my growth. I'm ready to invest. I'm ready to open my brain in a little bit different way, and I will journal it, and I will record it, and I will come, and let's all get that power of self-centering, self-supply, self-reliance, and just spread it everywhere. And I think really we're gonna experience life in such magical way if we're gonna take and stick with this journey. We're gonna unwrap the abilities that we never knew we had, unwrap qualities that we never knew we had, and
you moved me so much. That's essentially what we are here to do.
We are here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for watching this video. Come back to me with a question. It's Marta Mehlmann. Her Instagram is going to be underneath the video. I'm going to run her Instagram to everybody. She will be posting her 30-30-30 system there. She will be talking about it. She is, as I told you, Miss America. She has a platform that she spreads her love to everybody, love and wisdom. With love alone, you're not gonna go anywhere. With head alone, you're not gonna go anywhere. And alone, you're not going anywhere either. So it's
no, you need a fabulous women around you.
yeah.
You know, because behind every woman's success, there is a village of
Community
women
of
that
women.
supported there through it. Absolutely.
Okay,
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
thank you. Love
Bye.
everybody. We'll see you soon, guys. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
just like that. Yeah.
thank you. Bye.
Bye.